everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki and today's video is going to be a requested video. I've had a good amount of people ask for just some tips on what I do when I want to do like a WW reset, or even just like, doesn't even have to be WW related. It could just be like a reset, getting back on track with your long-term health goals, tracking consistently, just staying consistent with what your goals are for your health. So if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate that. And let's go ahead and start talking about this. So I made a list of things that really help me when I'm trying to do like a reset. I've had that happen a few times where I've gotten a little off track, and of course that's happened like random days, but there have also been like a couple weeks at a time where I'm not feeling as motivated or find myself not being as consistent as I want to be. So then I like to do like a little bit of reset, refresh, and I don't know, just get started new. It just makes it makes a difference to like start fresh when you're setting goals for yourself and you're just trying to stay on track. So one thing that I do is, as hard as it may be for me personally with WW, tracking everything. So when I get back to tracking everything, I am just so much more put together and on track in general. So that is because tracking my meals just gets me to eat better meals because I know I'm having to track them. I'm having to track everything I put in my mouth. I'm having to actually track the portions that I'm using, and then that gets me to actually weigh out the proper portions. So tracking is more than just like counting the calories or the points technically. It really does just all around get me eating better meals. It makes sure that I eat throughout the day because I need to track my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I try to get all three tracked as well as snacks. Overall, just tracking everything helps so much. And it also helps because a lot of times I find that I'm snacking a lot and I don't track those snacks. And so when I get back to really focusing on tracking everything, and that's just taking it a day at a time, I really do just try to do it a day at a time. I find that I'm not snacking as much because I have to track it then. And when I really stay consistent with that, it really helps me to stay away from mindless snacking. One way to stay on track with tracking for me personally is I set new goals for myself. So I've talked about it before, but I reward myself for consistency, not certain results. So instead of giving myself a reward for losing 5 pounds, I give myself a reward for tracking for a week straight, something like that. So that's what I do to really stick to my tracking. And so if I'm going to be doing a reset, a lot of times I pick some new rewards or some new things that I can treat myself with for staying consistent tracking. And it really does help me stay on track. Another thing that I like to do when I'm trying to do a reset is I like to take some new progress pictures. So a lot of times maybe I'm just losing motivation to track and stay with WW and everything because the scale's not moving. And I've had that happen a few times, and it really is tough mentally. But when you take these progress pictures, first of all, it gets me remotivated seeing how far I've come and also how much further I can go, and just what a difference you can see in the progress pictures. It just helps a ton. And so I really recommend just take a whole new set, put on, if you have some starting pictures, put on those outfits again and retake the pictures, or try on some new outfits that you want to see the progress in a few months down the line. And really just getting those pictures is so helpful. And again, you don't need a ton of them. You could take one picture a week if you really want to, but it really does help to see the progress when other things might not feel like you're progressing. When the scale's not moving, when you just don't feel the best, if you have like bloating or something, or it's your time of the month, use those progress pictures. And that's just really important when you're resetting and getting back on track. It just helps to have some new pictures to go off of. Another thing that I like to do when I'm trying to do a reset, obviously it's nice to kind of just clean out the kitchen. I like to clean my fridge, go through the pantry, even just reorganizing. I don't even have to get rid of a lot of stuff, but sometimes just reorganizing helps, seeing what I need. And then I go to the grocery store and I get some new things. I like to switch up what stores I'm going to so that I'm cooking different meals with different ingredients all the time. It really helps to go to different stores. So even for me, I go Target, Meijer, Walmart, Woodman's, Trader Joe's, Aldi. I have all these options around me. And I know some of you guys don't have that much of a variety, which I get it. Even in that case, just trying different foods at certain grocery stores. So different types of food. Really mixing up what you're eating helps a lot when you're trying to reset, because a lot of times you kind of are in a routine, you got bored, and it's just kind of hard to stick with it when you start to lose interest or you start to get sick of the same stuff. And so mixing it up helps so much. I have so much fun when I try to make some new meals, and it doesn't have to be overwhelming. One thing about me is that I like to have a lot of similar ingredients but make totally different meals out of them. So I like to, I have my bowls, there's so many different variations, but I make a Greek bowl, but I also do a Greek pita and a Greek wrap and a Greek pizza, and like there's so many things that I use the same ingredients for to make all these different things. There's just so many different ingredients that I repeat in different recipes, but they're totally different recipes, and it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. I find that making simpler meals just makes it so much easier to stay consistent. And so that's why I like to find the key ingredients that I like to consistently buy, but also shop around and find some new things to keep things interesting. Another thing that helps me when I'm trying to do a reset is getting more into a routine. So what really helps me is getting up, and the first thing I do is I go and I drink my greens and I drink a glass of water. And something about that just gets me always going. It gets me eating my food after, because for some reason it just like makes me hungry. I have a hard time eating right away when I wake up. So drinking my greens and then water really does help me to like be ready to eat. I don't know why, it just makes me feel better. And so getting in that routine, once I start drinking my greens every morning, then I know I'm gonna make a healthy meal after because I'm feeling good, or if I like skated before. It just really helps to kind of get on track and not just be like guessing what you're gonna be doing throughout the day. Scheduling out my days helps me a ton. It is hard working from home to stay on a schedule, but I really do try to go to the coffee shop to edit, and then I work on my cookie orders. Like I try to keep everything in a certain routine so that I can kind of stay on track. And that helps me to plan meals around that. I plan meals around Adam's work schedule, and that just goes with like the ingredient prep that I do. Certain nights that I know I'm going to be working super late, we have a mac and cheese dinner. One thing that I have tried when I did a reset, and it actually really did help me stay on track. Like I said, I've only done it for 1 month, and I can post the picture of the list I did. This might work for you. It worked for me, but at the same time, I think that if I did it every month, it'd be a little bit overwhelming. I made a list of just goals for the month. And with that list, it was certain things like I'm going to dry brush every day. And I wrote out 1 through 30, and every single day that I dry brushed, I crossed it off. And I know for some people that helps so much. And like I said, for me, it really did help. And I'm actually thinking about doing it for this upcoming month just to really stay on track. But it does get to be a lot. I don't know. I think it really depends on your personality if that's going to work for you, because some people love to be so by the book and have like a checklist. And honestly, I felt so accomplished at the end of the day when I would get everything done on my checklist. Some of the things on the list were just for the month, so it was like a full task to get done by the end of the month type of thing. But really, that just helped me stay on track. So I'll post a picture of what that looked like. And I think I'm going to be doing one for the month of September, but I don't want it to be too overwhelming. I don't want to require too many things, because I think that's what I did the previous time that I did this. So that's something that just to think about, if it helps you to make like a checklist to just go through each day. And with that, you can incorporate getting healthy meals in, getting certain servings of fruits or vegetables, drinking your water. I used it to help me journal every day. So that kind of stuff really helps, which journaling is something I also forgot to mention as part of my routine. When I get up and I journal in the morning, something about that just helps me start the day just grateful, and because I have my gratitude list on there, and that I've talked about before, it just makes such a difference. And so that really just has helped me get in a routine and just get back on track and motivated. And I'm looking at my goals and journaling about my goals, and something about that just really helps when I'm trying to reset and get back on track. But overall, I think the most important thing when you're trying to reset is just not being too hard on yourself and taking it one day at a time. And I know that sounds so like simple, but it really is a lifelong process. You're trying to make a lifestyle change here. This is something you want to be sustainable. And so take it a day at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't expect too much from yourself. We're human. We still slip up. We make mistakes. We have stressful lives. There's so much going on in the world. And so you can't be too hard on yourself. And I think that when you take some of that pressure off yourself, it really does help you to just stay more consistent and stay more on track, because you want to do it for the right reasons. You're not putting too much stress or pressure and it's just overwhelming. It's just a lifestyle change and it's sustainable. And so I hope that makes sense. And I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.